Damn, son, where'd you find this? Rock with your boys.
All right, you're looking live at Generation to Generation Cowboys and Sports Talks. I'm the host, DJ. I tell you what, and I'm joined with my co-host, my dad. And what is today? Memorial Day.
Memorial Day, and we want to recognize all of our fallen veterans. Of course, we have, people in our family. We've got your grandfather, Roy C. Joseph. He was a decorated World War II veteran. And we got Big C, Larry Clarkson Sr. He was also World War II. And then you got Granddaddy Thurman, one of your granddads. He was Vietnam veteran. So we got a lot of veterans in our family that are no longer with us, and we got some that are still with us. So shout out to all of the veterans. Thanks for their service and their sacrifice, and we definitely wouldn't be here without them. A whole lot of our people, they went and fought for the country, and so
Yeah, one day I'm gonna tell the world about Pampau's story. That's pretty amazing.
mm,
I've never heard a story like that. A story about when he was deployed, and it's really, really, really like unbelievable the kind of stuff that you
yeah,
would hear. And then Big C, he told me some stories too about when he was deployed and how different things were specifically for black veterans, how things were different from him, and he was a part of a historic group of veterans.
hmm
And um, very unique individuals, and really the cornerstones of our family. When you think about it, those two are the guys
hmm
that really are the cornerstones, the corner pieces in our family, pretty much.
Up
So
on the Joseph and Clarkson side, yeah,
for sure, they were
yep.
the ones. So yeah, but shout out to all of the veterans on Memorial Day. And but yeah, we decided we're gonna jump on here, and there's been a lot of speculation about the Cowboys defense with Eberflus. I mean, a lot of fans like myself. Who is that? Oh, what's good? What's good, Kush? What hoodie Kush is on? So, let's see. I'm gonna put the chat up here real quick. And so, it's been a lot of speculation about the defense, because everybody is so excited about the offense, and we know we got George Pickens, and we know we got Shoddy running the offense, and Dak and CD running the offense. We got Jaden Blue, we got Phil Maffa, we got some more veteran running backs that they all gonna be trying to make the team. Um, we got some decent tight ends behind Jake Ferguson. I mean, our line is looking rejuvenated. We got Tyler Booker, probably the best guard in the draft. If not, he was the best guard in the draft. Um, there's a lot of people that say he might be the number two best guard in the draft, but it's also some people that say he's number one best guard in the draft, and there's some people that say he's one of the top two or three best linemen in the draft. Period. Some people say he's the best one. So we got him on the right side taking Zach Martin's spot, which is like great that we have someone else with his upside potential coming in. And we have Cooper BB in the middle. He a dog. He looking like right now he's the leader. Well, we know Tyler Smith is the leader, but it's looking like Cooper BB is the one that they flocking to. He's the most animated. He's the one that has all of the you know he has all of the or all of the, you know what I'm saying. He's the one that they looking
Mhm.
for. He's got all the energy.
And he got his ex line coach as our line coach now.
Yeah, he got his ex line coach as our line coach now. So this is looking like he finna be the leader of the.
And shout out to JVB boy.
Shout out.
So JVB and Hoodie, if you guys would like our show, we would appreciate it. Appreciate you
Yeah,
guys spreading the word about our show as well. So we know to the game. We starting our show. We kind of started after the season.
yeah,
So what's unique? We're father and son content creators. So I'm the OG. I'm probably one of the only content creators that's seen every Cowboys Super Bowl, including the first one, Super Bowl 5. I was actually 7 years old. I watched the game, but
Yeah, that's crazy.
we unique to the space. So tell people to check us out and like our show. But yeah, we're expecting great things from Cooper BB and with the new coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, I'm excited about what he's gonna do. He's just gonna be better naturally because this is his second year. And what we
Hoodie
hearing,
Kush,
they want to keep him at center.
Hoodie Kush, he said he working on his platform for 2026. Well, make sure whenever you drop it, make sure you let us know so we can come support and so we can give you any kind of tidbits or any kind of anything that
Hmm.
we ran into that we can kind of help you with yours. Just let us know. We always open to help you. You know what I'm saying? So just
Yeah.
let us know, and we got you on that for sure. And we'll do some. We'll have you on, and then we can come on
Yeah.
yours, so we can spread the word. And so,
Hmm.
and this is a good year to start too, because this is 2025. So if you're getting yours going for 2026, that's great because it's gonna be a new regime with the Cowboys this year. So you're gonna be doing it right at the beginning of the new regime. So that's cool.
Yeah. And well, we're both Dallas guys. So I grew up in Oak Cliff in Dallas, and was
Yeah.
born and raised here. Went to Carter High School, and then Jules over here. Grew up in Dallas as well. Went to Bishop Dunn, DeSoto, Adele Turner, legendary Adele Turner Elementary School, and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, we local guys, and so we got the
Mm-hmm.
local flavor. You can hear it right now. It's thundering. So,
Mm-hmm.
but let's go ahead and look at this Eberflus tape. So Eberflus to me is the question mark for this season. I'm just keep it real, keep it a buck. I didn't like the hire because he's kind of from the Marinelli tree. And I was listening to somebody, who was it? It might have been CFT. Shout out to him. But they were talking about the Green Bay game in 2016, and I didn't really, a lot of people don't know that was Byron Jones on that last play when they gave up that 3rd and 20, whatever there was.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the content creators was talking about Byron Jones on that play. But the reason I brought that up is because I think a part of what happened there is it was Marinelli's zone coverage,
Mm-hmm.
and he had him in that zone. And what happened on that play? Byron Jones had the underneath zone,
Mm-hmm.
and he floated back into what's the other corner that we signed? The Cowboys signed him to that $50 million Brandon Carr.
Yeah, Brandon Carr.
So Brandon Carr had the zone behind him, and Byron Jones he floated back into Brandon Carr's area, and when he did that, he left the front of him just wide open. That's how that pass was completed.
Yeah, that pass was completed. It's just like you said, but a better way to do it is like he was playing, he was playing too. He gave way too much cushion. It's almost like he was playing man, and then he
Hmm.
realized that he was supposed to be in the zone too late, and then it's just like, well, you're already behind him, so you can't just run up past him now. That's gonna look crazy. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's what happened. I mean, that's what happened, and that was
and
the
and
only
I
thing
yeah,
that could not happen on that play, and it happened.
and the irony is they had him playing out of position the whole time. They had him playing safety, but he was really a corner. If he had just been playing corner on that play, he was a really good cover corner. It's a different type of play. But when he started playing corner, they had him playing tight, and he was really good at it. But
I mean, like he immediately like he was like finna be cut. I mean, he was finna be like let go at
as a
safety.
safety, yeah.
Yeah. And then he switched to corner and it was just like, oh my God. I mean,
Yeah,
like
but
what
on that play, he was playing safety, and but yeah, it was Marinelli's defense, and I've been tweeting with people kind of back and forth. My concern with his defense, and we're gonna watch Eberflus. You can go ahead and start rolling it. My concern with Eberflus with the Marinelli game plan is style is that he coaches his defensive linemen to get upfield. Now
Mhm.
there's some debate about his one tech doing that. It sounds like his one tech is more of a gap control that's controlling the line of scrimmage, whereas Marinelli wanted everybody upfield. So so is this Van Horn? Is he 57?
Yeah. And I
So
mean, I don't know if that's not like a I mean, like in today's NFL, you would have to be like I don't want excuse my French, but you would have to be stupid in order to, and if you want to tell your defensive line to just get upfield, that would just be dumb because you've seen how that does not work in today's
Mhm.
NFL. It's especially not going to
Well,
work.
that happened a lot in the Marinelli scheme, and when we started playing the Shanahan coach teams,
That's not going to work.
what they would do, they would just let our linemen go upfield, and they would run behind them.
You know what that's called? That's called a zone run.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you beat that, because the running backs choose what zone to run off of, the center or in
So run
between.
that play back. So this is Van Horn 57.
Yeah, this is Jack Sanborn.
I keep saying Van Horn. I'm thinking about
Yeah.
my doctor, Sanborn. So we're thinking the way this is going, he's going to be the Mike. So
Mhm.
that's a
So
good play right there.
so everybody, this is elite. In this video, I want to shout out to
And that's the Eagles.
yeah, and so also just look how everybody's lined up on here. This is going to be the defense that you see. So this is
Mhm.
going to be where Sanborn in. This is going to be where Kenneth Murray is.
So that's
This
going
is
to be Mary over there.
yeah. This is going to be Mozzie, and this is going to be
And we hope
either
DJ Reader.
DJ Reader, but if it's not DJ Reader, this is going to be Osa.
Mm-hmm.
So we want DJ Reader to be right here. This is going to be Osa. And these two guys is going to be Nealon, Sam Williams, or Easy, and Michael will be over here.
But Michael's going to be there all the time. But hopefully
Right.
they're moving him around.
Right. This is going to be, you'll see Micah and Easy switching sides.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be Dante Fowler and.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I forgot about Dante Fowler. Jeez.
So this is a good one to watch because this is the Eagles.
Yeah. And this is exactly what will happen.
Mm-hmm.
So if Sanborn is filling the gap like that, that's pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of the Eagles, a lot of the Bears fans and content creators, they were not happy about Sanborn not being re-signed. So we got to figure out what's happening with these teams where these players are not being re-signed, like Sanborn.
Yeah, these teams are letting go of good players, and we can't figure out why. But I mean, like I said, it's kind of like how we was just talking about Dante Fowler. I mean, we have a lot of premium players at that position, and it could easily, one of them could easily be traded or whatever, not re-signed or whatever. Like Dante Fowler is only here for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
He might be gone next year, and so he might have his best season and still might be gone next year.
And it looks like the 53, the wheel, I guess, in this play, it looked like he carried out his assignment because Jalen Hurts was going to his right. Then he was over there, so he cut back in. So
that's outside containment. So
mm-hmm.
what he did that was good on this play, that other linebacker, is that he got outside of the tackle's outside shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So right here, that tackle's supposed to push him in, but he juked him and he got outside of his shoulder, which then everybody came over, and that's how you stop that play. And then also, I was listening to Jeff today. I mean, we're gonna talk about these corners in a minute, but I want to see this play. But what's the name that we got on our staff right now?
What?
Number 26.
Mm,
Golly,
playing what?
That's Sanborn. Well, Jalen Hurts is slow, but dang, look how fast Sanborn attacked him from way over there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jalen Hurts is not fast, but this linebacker probably weigh 50 or 60 pounds more than him.
That was impressive the way he ran Hurts down. So that lets you know that he does have, some speed. Where was the weak side linebacker? Is that him up there at the top on the left? Or is he not?
Let's see. Yeah, his assignment was to cover 53 is right here. This is a different play?
It's a different play, yeah.
So 53 is right here covering the tight end.
Yeah. But to go to the next one. So this is a difference. So he's right there.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this is gonna be Kenneth Murray, we think.
Yeah. That's gonna be Kenneth Murray. Look at Sanborn though. So he came all the way over there and made that
Now
tackle.
the Will made that tackle, but he got in on it. So we got to give our who's the credit? Who credit we need to give for this tape for this?
This is the football scout.
Okay,
Shout out to the football scout for this video. Let's see.
appreciate it, JVB boy.
Yeah. So I was listening to Jeff Kavanaugh today. Jeff Kavanaugh was saying that what if you have a situation where Trayvon comes back halfway through the season, and then you have Siobhan Revelle playing good, and then you have probably added a veteran and they were playing good, and then what happens if you have Deron Bland and you let him go and get a comp pick for him? What if he goes and gets like a huge deal somewhere and you get like a second or third round comp pick for him?
I mean, I understand that theoretically, but man, I'm just not with this thing of not signing Bland and letting Bland go. I would rather keep Bland myself at this point.
And what they're saying is it's gonna have to be like, in order for him to stay, it's probably gonna have to be like the same type of deal that Trayvon got, and they're thinking that Bland is gonna want more, and then the Cowboys are not.
But what happens if you don't have Trayvon? Because where I was going with that, myself, I would rather have Bland than Trayvon. I would.
Yeah.
Now, if you tell me Trayvon never had a knee injury, he never had microfracture surgery, that makes sense. For me, there is no scenario myself where I wouldn't have been trying to keep a healthy Trayvon and a healthy Bland. That just doesn't make any sense to me. And the Cowboys, they do this a lot. And I understand you signed Revelle, but to me, Revelle would be Diggs' replacement, not Bland.
I agree. I think that's what makes the most sense logically to me. I mean, I wouldn't,
especially when you look at Diggs' salary cap hit, they can actually probably do a better job with Bland's and spread it out. So Diggs is going to have a more significant cap hit. I saw something today. Somebody posted that they think Donovan Wilson is going to be a June 1 because it's going to save $8.6 million. I don't know if I agree with that because they really don't need the money, honestly. But we got too many guys in the room. We may not be able to see Wanye unless you move on from Donovan Wilson.
Or Bell.
Yeah, exactly. So this is another Van Horn.
Yeah, all of this is Javon Horn.
Yeah.
All this is Van Horn. Yeah, you keep talking. I'm gonna go get my drink real quick.
Okay. All right. So he's looking the part on all these plays. He's coming up. Now, like we always say, these are highlight films, and this is what you expect to get on a highlight film. But it looks like to me he's playing downhill. He's pretty accurate as far as tackling. He knows, he knows what he's doing. That's obvious. And he understands the defense. And that's why we're hearing that he's going to be the green dot guy. I actually had it the other way. I thought Murray would be the green dot guy. But what we're hearing based on OTAs, that's going to be Sanborn. And so he just looks the part. I believe that our linebacker room was really not up to par in the last few years. The Cowboys do this thing. Let me see what our JVB boy is saying. Revelle had an injury since high school. Why replace a All-Pro when he's been injury prone in high school? I understand what you're saying completely. I believe they should put Revelle on PUP to start the season. That's what I would do. I guess what I'm saying is my concern with Diggs, he's had the ACL, and now he's had microfracture surgery. And I don't know if you saw one of our earlier shows, JVB boy. I had the same microfracture surgery in 2020, but I had the old school version of it, where they drill holes in your knee, and when they drill holes in your kneecap, it makes your kneecap bleed, and that new blood clot is your cartilage. So I didn't have any cartilage behind my knee, so I had like severe knee pain, and didn't know what it was. I actually thought I had either separated my kneecap or actually cracked my kneecap, but what it was, I didn't have any cartilage behind my knee. But Diggs has done that same surgery, but he had the new and improved version of it. So look, if Diggs comes back and he plays well, my thing is this, and I'm just gonna piggyback on my own point. I'm just not trying to get rid of all of these guys. I'm trying to figure out a way you can keep all of these guys and just line up and play. So hey Jeff, appreciate you joining.
And
So
shout out to my cousin Marcus Williams too. Marcus is where he going to Delaware?
Delaware State, which is a HBCU.
Delaware State, HBCU. He got a full ride scholarship. He gonna be
Yeah.
playing well. He played linebacker at Duncanville.
Oh, you
They
play
won.
linebacker? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he played linebacker at Duncanville. He been on Duncanville. He been on varsity since he was a freshman.
Yeah. So I think Collins last year when they won,
Mhm.
he was a junior. Or he was a sophomore.
No,
So Colin, this is his freshman year in college. So 25, Colin was a freshman, and so in
Collins.
24 he was a senior at Duncanville.
So that would have.
I'm thinking Marcus was a sophomore on that team.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you say he got the rings.
He do.
Yeah.
We watched him play. I mean, we went to all the games. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So Marcus was definitely. Nah, he's like I said, he been on freshman. He been on varsity since he was a freshman, and he was just one of them. He was just one of them. He's just an athlete. He's just real good, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's good. He got a full ride scholarship, and we knew he was gonna get a
So
scholarship. So shout
we
out to
got
him.
we got a couple of people in the family. Of course, Colin Simmons is one of our cousins, and we share first cousins with Colin. So we hope to do some things with him before the season. We're try to work on that. But looking at Van Horn, this is a highlight film, as I was telling the people that's watching. So this is what you kind of expect to see, or is this one of those cuts where they just looking at everything and he just
No.
making plays?
No, they're looking at him. This is
Mhm.
this video for everybody that's watching. It's why I say this video is unique, and it's a good thing for Cowboys because look, this video was done a year ago before he
Mhm.
came to the Cowboys. This was not done by a Cowboy content creator, and this video says why Bears Jack Sanborn is a major developing star. So
Hey, what's the Eagles linebacker? They signed him this past offseason.
Nakobe Dean.
No, he actually replaced Nakobe Dean. It's either Jack Vaughn or Zach Bond.
Yeah,
So
Zach Bond.
look him up. So they signed him. It's the same type of signing that we're looking at with Kenneth Murray and Sanborn.
Yeah.
And he came in and he balled out. He really pushed Nakobe Dean to the side. And
For sure.
he just signed a new contract too. So if we might get lucky with Murray and Sanborn, they could easily be our linebackers for the next 3 or 4 years, and just balling out. It's possible. We've done it before. That's how we got Mark Colombo. Mark Colombo was a former #1 pick. He got hurt, and the Bears moved on, and we signed him. Bill Parcells liked him in college. He restarted his career, became an All-Pro. We did it with Leonard Davis, who was Leonard Davis from University of Texas.
Coach
Leonard
Davis?
No, not him.
His name is Leonard Davis.
I didn't know his.
No, his name is Kenneth Davis.
Yeah, Kenneth Davis. So Leonard Davis is the big tackle from Texas. He's probably the biggest person I've ever seen in a uniform. Him and Larry Allen, but Leonard Davis was a bust with the Cardinals. They had him playing tackle, and he was really a guard, like I think Tyler Smith is. So they had Leonard Davis at tackle in Arizona. He was a bust, and Cowboys picked him up. He ended up being an All-Pro at guard. That was his natural position. So we've seen
They
players
did the
come.
same thing. You know, they did the same thing with Nate Newton. Nate
Yeah.
Newton was drafted. He went to the Redskins and he got cut. And he went to Tampa Bay and he didn't work out. And he came here and became an All-Pro.
Yeah, and he was a free agent. And the same thing with Mark Tuinei. Mark Tuinei, they moved him from defense.
But ain't that crazy though that Nate Newton became a 6-time Pro Bowler? 2
Yeah,
years.
he was undrafted.
That's wild. He became a 3-time Super Bowl champion, first two-time first team All
Yeah,
Pro.
I wonder. I wonder what round was Van Horn? Van Horn again. Sanborn. What round was Sanborn drafted in,
Let's see, Jack Sanborn.
or was he a free agent?
Let's see. Uh, let's see.
But yeah, he's
Nah, he was. Oh, he was an undrafted free agent.
okay. But yeah. So
So, if he's an undrafted free agent, so this year he might make All Pro or something like that. Be a Pro Bowler or something like that. This would be his first time doing that.
well, what I
Also,
hmm?
also, um, so Eberflus is supposed to be the linebacker whisperer, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, our
Yeah.
linebacker room, man. When you look at it, man, I mean, when you look at the offseason in general and our team in general, this team is so different than it was last year. And I mean, like, one thing I'll say about Shoddy, the Shoddy effect, and I'm only attributing this to Shoddy because this is
Man,
what
look at
he
that. That
said.
was a very good play right there too.
I'm only attributing this to Shoddy because this is what Shoddy said. He said that they have holes that they're going to fill in free agency. And he said that out of his own mouth. Now, every coach says that. So that's just a team philosophy. But when you actually look at this team and you say, okay, what were some of the holes that we needed to fill? You start off with the defense. Okay, we need to shore up defensive tackle. Well, they signed Osa and they went out and they got the guy from the Jets. I keep forgetting his name.
Solomon Thomas.
Solomon Thomas, who's a veteran, played in the Jets with a really good defense. Then you look at the linebackers. You know, we needed to definitely add depth in the linebackers. They went and got Jack Sanborn, Kenneth Murray, you know, two outstanding linebackers. Something that we don't have on this team. We didn't have those type of veteran. We had one last year, and he came from the Vikings. You know what I'm talking about?
Kendricks.
Yeah, we had Kendricks last year.
And Overshawn was playing at an All Pro level till he got hurt.
Right. But
Kendricks and Overshawn were good.
right. Now Kendricks was the veteran that understood Zim's defense. He played with him for the Vikings, and then he played for the Chargers, I believe.
Yeah.
And then so now they got Jack Sanborn, who played with Eberflus in Chicago, and then they got Kenneth Murray, who's been who's a Texan native. He's from Houston, Missouri City. So he grew up as a Cowboy fan. And Kenneth Murray has always been one of the outstanding linebackers in this league. I mean,
Let's find some film on Murray. We'll watch him.
Every year that Kenneth Murray is available, he's always sought after. We was trying to get him 2 years ago, but
we was trying to get him come. I was trying to get him when he got drafted.
We was trying to get him when he got drafted for sure.
I watched him at OU a lot.
Right. Even though we were going against him, well, we were definitely watching him because he was one of them ones coming out. He one of them linebackers coming out that we was just like, woo, he gonna be something. But I wanted to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. They drafted they linebacker in the first round. He got all the way to the first down, and he was the best linebacker in the draft.
Yep,
if you ask me,
Campbell.
They got Jahad Campbell. So it's gonna be an interesting matchup to see when Cooper Beebe and Tyler get their hands on him.
Yeah, well, shout out to Vaj Lombardi. Vaj said what you should always do is try to push guys down the roster. We talked about Nakobe Dean. If Nakobe Dean had been drafted by Dallas, Nakobe Dean would still be the guy. They wouldn't be trying to push him down the roster. The Eagles said, "No, we're gonna bring in Vaughn, whatever it is."
Bond. And they also drafted someone. I mean, they also signed that guy that came in we was trying to sign the year before that.
Yeah, he's no longer on the team. But Jahad
I'm just
Campbell,
saying that year they did that because of Nakobe Dean. But Nakobe Dean, you know, the NFL kind of did him wrong. You know, I feel like they kind of stunted his growth a little bit. He was undersized coming in the NFL, but he still was like a top 5 pick, and then he had torn his pec.
And he was playing good last year to his credit. Then he kind of got banged up again, and I think this is when the other guy. So, but yeah, and Kobe Dean probably will play a lot, in the nickel and whatever. And speaking of, we think on our team, we still gonna see Leofow probably in the nickel.
Oh no, you're gonna see Leofow the nickel because Leofow don't have no reason not to play because he played good last year. I don't care what nobody say. He
Hmm.
played good. He just wasn't no standout. He just, when you playing linebacker and you got you sharing a room with Overshawn,
And
Kendricks,
Kendrick, yeah.
you're not gonna look good. But because these guys are super duper athletes, well Kendrick's not, but I mean Overshawn is like one of one. So, but like I said, Leofow, he stayed in the film room all year. That was his thing. Every time that they would talk about Leofow, Shadi and everybody else would always say how he's steady studying every day and how he's continuing to get better and better and better. And it showed throughout the end of the season. You know how you have those kind of games where you know how a player like would get defensive player of the game, and it was kind of like they had the most impact on the team that game. Leofow was that player on one of our games at the end of the season where he was like it was that game where Terrence Steele had like missed the fumble recovery. You remember that game when
Mm-mm.
when Terrence Steele was like running towards the ball and it was like he was just treating it like hot potato and he couldn't fall on the ball.
Mm.
It was that game. Leofow really, really, really affected that game. Like he was knocking down passes, hitting people in the backfield. So, he plays with a lot of energy. That's one thing that I'm really, really you pointed this out last week. And it really is just like, wow, this team has morphed into a team that has these high intensity motor guys. That's who all these guys are. Like Kenneth Murray, like how he just running up on these dudes and just flying all over the place.
Now with Kenneth Murray, the writers,
Oh
the
my God.
people with the Chargers, the people with the Titans, the writers, they had some. They didn't like, the way he played. He had some plays. We're not seeing them here, where he kind of looks like Damone Clark, where he's, for the most part, the criticism is he's misdiagnosing the play. He's running, wrong angle or through the wrong hole. I haven't seen plays where he just got the running back lined up or the quarterback and he's just whiffing or he doesn't want to tackle. That the problem with our linebackers we had the last few years. Both of them had neck injuries and they really didn't want to tackle. I don't see that with Kenneth Murray. I see him maybe misdiagnosing something. And by the way, a lot of people were saying that was Damone Clark's problem. They still saying that he would misdiagnose plays and blah blah blah. Well, no, Damone Clark's problem was twofold. He was misdiagnosing plays, but also a lot of plays where he would diagnose it correctly, but he really didn't want to stick his head and neck in there because he was hurt.
Yeah.
And then going back to my criticism of Marinelli defense, I think one of the things that shortened LVE's career is they had him playing Mike, number one, and he was really a will. And then number two, the defensive lineman wasn't protecting them. So LVE was just constantly playing with running backs just running downhill at him, and he ain't that kind of player. He was getting
Yeah.
hurt because he was just having to come up and make tackles as the Mike, and that's he trying to protect his neck and protect himself, and you could just see it. And Damone Clark was the exact same way. He just didn't want to put his neck and shoulder in the plays.
Mhm. Now, this is also why no, you hitting the spot on with that. I mean, you had guys that have straight up neck injuries to where
Hmm.
if they get hurt one time, their career is over. And it's not like and it ain't like, oh yeah, I blew my knee out. It's like, no, my career could be over and I might not ever be able to walk again.
Hmm.
So those are not good candidates to have for a position
The
like
the
linebacker.
neck injury they had, it's the same injury that Daryl Johnson had, and he had to retire. He stopped playing.
And these are your guys that you want to be the most physical on your team. These are guys that
Hmm.
you want them to run as fast as they can
Hmm.
to a line to I mean to a running back that's also running as fast as he can to try to run them over.
Yeah, you got a neck history injury, neck injury. You ain't
You,
trying to run up on Saquon or Derrick Henry, nobody like that.
nah, you're not gonna do that.
Mm-mm.
Um, but also, what's scaring me also about Eberflus defense. First of all, like I was just saying, Eberflus. Okay, let's just put it like this: the other coaches that we hired this year, they all have that allure that we were just talking about, that dog mentality, that young, rejuvenated response to everything, that they just look eager, they up and coming. Um, that's what the Tide was, if you will, like
Mm-hmm.
Shoddy. Shoddy
Mm-hmm.
is up and coming. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? He's a new coach, he's young, he's rejuvenated, he's hip.
That's what Jimmy did too.
He's hip to the game. He's a player. He's a player's coach. The players, what I'm saying, got him hired. They the
Mm-hmm.
ones that got him hired. Then you got name me the offensive coordinator.
Well, you got Clayton Adams, you got Connor Riley. So yeah,
These are
what
these are young guys that deal with these are younger guys that deal with younger guys.
is that what's his name right there?
This Kenneth Murray when he played for the Chargers.
No, I'm talking about the quarterback. That was Cam. I thought that was Joe Milton. That's Cam. But
I said I like to say Eberflus don't fit that bill. He's not a young and up and coming guy. He's an old retired guy that wasn't sought out by nobody. Nobody wanted him.
mhm.
He almost ruined what's his name career. Uh the quarterback for the Bears.
Well,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
he was a defensive guy, so he wasn't helping him anyway. Now I will say this: he does have the Jets defensive line coach that they had the last few years. He's a dog. He was when you played the Jets, you had to strap it up.
That's
So that and
why
I
Sanborn
can't think of his name.
that's why
Let me
Sanborn
pull him up.
is gonna be good because that's how you do it. That's how you do it. You're gonna get the players that know the previous the guy that you're bringing in. Like they got BBO offensive coordinator. They got the Jets defensive line coach that came in with
The
Sanborn.
defensive line coach is White Cotton.
You got White Cotton came in with Sanborn. And you got Eberflus that already coached Sanborn. So this is gonna turn out good. But everybody knows, if you know anybody that knows anything about sports and specifically about the Cowboys, what is the number one thing that they say is wrong with the defense? They
Not
say
stopping the run.
that we have to stop the run. And we're gonna run a 4-2-5 defense. Okay. So 4-2-5 defense. That's what Eberflus, Marinelli, that's their whole little thing right there. That's what it's called. It's a combination between a 3-4 and what is it? A 3-4 and it might be a 3-4 and a 4-3, I think. Or
Uh,
well, it's a combination
and
between
Eberflus has done the 3-4. He was a 3-4 coach too
right.
here
So
with
it's the
Dallas.
so a 4-2-5 is the one where you have an extra secondary piece.
Mm.
So you have a slot corner that stays on the field at all times, or you have an extra safety that comes up and guards the slot. So, but the number one thing about the 4-2-5 defense, the number one problem with the 4-2-5 defense is that it's a run game vulnerable defense.
Mm.
That's the stigma about the 4-2-5 is that you have trouble stopping the run against physical teams. Number one, because you're out physical on every play. Because if you got these mammoths of giants on here and you're physical, blocking for the run and blocking for the quarterback, but then you have a 4-2-5 where you have an extra secondary piece and not an extra lineman. So that means that always in the 4-2-5, when you run the 4-2-5, it's always one lineman that's either double teaming somebody or has nobody to block, because you have 4 down linemen and you have 5 down linemen on an offense, sometimes 6, because the tight end can be blocking too. So think about that. You have 5 down linemen, possibly 6 because you got a tight end, and then you get a blocking tight end. You got tight end, and then you got four defensive linemen. In our case, you got three and a half defensive linemen because you got Mozzie out there somewhere, and if he getting double teamed, he's out of
Yeah.
there. So you got four down linemen. Then you got two linebackers. So those linebackers, they got to step up every single play,
Yeah,
every single run
they
play,
gotta be able to run to the ball and tackle like we're seeing Sanborn and Murray do. But
and
yeah,
they got to be able to cover.
yeah. So that's the problem. Well, not the problem. That's the concern. Everybody is saying that whether it's you know, Boss Cowboy Sports. Shout out to Boss. It's HTM. It's Vodge. It's Star Games or all of the people that we're in the community with and we follow. Everybody is concerned about the defensive tackle, and for me, it's the one tech. I just think that Mozzie needs a. We talk about this Batman and Robin thing. Mozzie needs a Batman with play with him, so that he can just continue to develop, and
I
then
mean,
Osa.
sometimes in the league, man, sometimes you just not that guy, and sometimes your job is not to be the head dude. You just
Yeah,
supposed to be there for depth, and you good at that. Like, what was the guy name that played for the Cowboys that was Michael Irvin backup, but he really was good.
his backup.
Or like not his backup, but he was like the second. He was a
My
B.
Alvin Harper.
Alvin Harper. He wasn't
Yeah.
as good as Michael Irvin, but he still did his thing,
Well,
right?
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, he was a true number two. He wasn't a 1A. I mean 1B. But in Mozzie's case, I'm gonna say this about Mozzie, and we pulling for Mozzie. The best Mozzie we're gonna see is when Mozzie can just come in and play a certain amount of snaps. He gonna just give you quality snaps. We don't want to see Mozzie getting run down because he's playing a lot of
Shout
snaps.
out to Lou. He's on.
Hey, what's up, Luke? How's it going? uh Bishop Don's finest.
Yes,
Um
sir.
so yeah, we gonna the concern with Mozzie for me, I just don't want Mozzie playing just being overwhelmed with snaps. He needs somebody to come in to take some of those snaps so that when he does play, he can play at a high level. So that's kind of what we're hoping for there with Mozzie. And you'll see the best Mozzie. If you coming in saying that Mozzie is the guy, he's gonna play all of these snaps. You got somebody else, and the other thing is Toye, our rookie. The same with him. You just want him playing a limited amount of snaps, and so you need a veteran. And then Osa, you got to have somebody that can play when Osa comes off the field, and that's supposed to be Solomon Thomas, and that might work right there. We'll see. I want to watch some film of Solomon Thomas, by the way.
Yeah, let's pull that up.
He just I want to see what he's got going on, and he looks a lot like Tyrone Crawford to me, with a jack of all trades and a master of none for us. But I do want to get on with Lou, and I want Lou to break this Eberflus defense down and go next level. And we know where Lou is on the offensive line. He's a master as far as breaking it down. But I want to talk to Lou about, if he was an offensive line coach, how would he attack Eberflus? What are the weaknesses? What is he looking for there? And I
I
want to
mean, you just
know.
overwhelm. You just got all you got to do is overwhelm. The four
Oh,
down linemen.
and we're gonna get overwhelmed. I started to mean winter is coming, and that whole thing was, which you're a big Game of Thrones guy.
I'm a huge Game of
Our whole
Thrones.
family is. I was just an observer. Uh, I watched Game of Thrones. I could watch it one. What was it? How many seasons?
Seven,
I
eight.
watched the first. Well, I watched it, and that was a wrap for me.
Game of Thrones to us is like Star Wars is for y'all. It was just
Yeah,
like the first time we've ever seen anything like that. The character development,
yeah.
like
But on the winter is coming. Obviously, they were preparing for the zombie people. What did you call them?
the White Walkers.
And they had to just get ready for that, and people were not prepared. And so, with what I threw that out there, I was talking about winter is coming in terms of we need to load up now for the playoff push. But what I flipped it and I said, we ain't got to worry about December. We got to get ready for September. That's when our winter is. Winter is. So right now, from the defensive line standpoint, we're not prepared. We are not prepared to go to Philadelphia and play them with Mozzie and Osa and Solomon Thomas and Toye, how you pronounce it. We're gonna get smoked.
Solomon Thomas playing hard on this right here.
Oh, now I wasn't even paying attention. Where is he at? Is that him right there? What
Now he's
number
the
is he?
highlights now. So, but I mean, but golly, I didn't even know he was getting down like this. Number 94. Yeah, he getting down on these. These are highlights, y'all. So I mean, whatever. But I mean, nah, he playing
Well,
with
he
some
looks he
energy.
looks bigger than I thought he was. That's him right there.
Yeah, he moving too. He ain't just playing. He ain't just big. He moving with some. Yeah, he
But he's
crashing.
94.
He 94. He crashing right here.
Well, when we played the Jets in the 23 season,
They were hitting hard.
I think people came out of that game with some concussions. I mean, they were hitting.
Yeah.
And it took us a while to put them away because their
Mhm.
defense was just like they was bringing it.
Yeah, we got up on them in the fourth quarter, but it was a game. And then what's the name dropped that pass. They was in the game until was it Sauce? Nah, it was the other guy. He dropped that pass wide open in the end zone.
Yeah, and they were playing the quarterback, Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Everybody know who you talking about.
Yeah,
Justin Bieber.
Is he still in the league?
I don't know. They did him wrong.
I think he's a career backup.
Even if he's a career backup, they still did him wrong. Bringing Aaron Rodgers up in there acting like, you know what I mean?
So this Solomon Thomas, I'm liking what I'm seeing. The question is going to be, how much does he have in the tank?
I mean, he was taking off on that play. Look at his stride on this play.
Yeah, and all indications are he's a upstanding guy, high character guy. So he gonna give you whatever he got. He ain't gonna be somebody that's gonna be out here, just kind of, phoning it in. That ain't happening. But my whole point is the guys we're talking about, Mozzie, Solomon Thomas, Osa, they're gonna be a whole lot better if we just get some more guys with them.
Yeah, man, that's what this culture is about. They keep talking about culture. This
Yeah.
culture is about that. It's about leaving none behind. You're talking about winter is coming. So Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
One of my favorite characters, his name is Sam. He's Samuel Tarly. He's the big guy that's in the Night's Watch. That, what I'm saying, at the end of he was at first he was like the weak guy to push over the punk, but they made him be a man. You know what I mean? That they made him come on with it. When they was walking to the battle of the fist or something, like the fist of the first men or whatever, he fell out and he was almost finna die. And they were just like, nah, get up now. And then what's the name? The Lord Commander was just like, as a matter of fact, if he die, you die. So get him back to where he's supposed to be. If he die, you die. And then it's just like, all right. At the end of Game of Thrones, he became, if not the most important person on that in the Night's Watch, the second or third. They would not have defeated the army without him. So that's how Mozzie in this culture have to be. It's just like, listen, I don't care what you're going through. You need to come on with it. And at the end of the season, we cannot beat Philadelphia without you playing good. We cannot beat Washington, and we cannot succeed in the playoffs.
We're not gonna beat the Eagles on September 4th if he doesn't play good.
Exactly.
So he says it's Tim Settle Jr. a possibility. I don't know that name.
Me neither.
Tim Settle. You gotta look him up.
Who said that?
JVB boy. What does he play for, JV? And what does he play? Is he a 1 tech, 3 tech? So we've been hearing DJ Reader and Roquan
Tim Settle
Smith.
Jr. Let's check. This is he's 27. He plays for the Texans. He's a big boy. Let me check him out.
So Lewis saying D-line coach is going to require high effort, frequent rotation. We need another D-line. Yeah, I think we need two, Lou. we need a couple of more veterans that can come in and you know,
They keep talking about Jalen Ramsey. I'm talking about we need a defensive tackle.
yeah, they shot that down yesterday. I don't understand why we talking about Jalen Ramsey when we can just sign Deron Bland. And we got Diggs, we got Revel.
Well, they're talking about him because right now we only have one quality.
Okay,
Uh,
he said he played for the Texans. He's a one tech.
well, this is him
So
right here when he played for the Redskins. Commanders.
which right there?
Yeah, number 97.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, hey, we need I'm at the point where, we definitely need quality, but
Yeah, see,
the
somebody like him, I like this.
yeah, the thing that I'm saying about all of these guys that we're watching, understand that they're just gonna play a number of snaps and they can probably just play really good.
And everybody, I'm telling y'all, remember Mark,
Uh,
remember Marinelli defense. His defense, he used to just be like swapping. They used to be rotating in every play. So
this Dallas right here. Uh, but then JV boy says Gilly. They should have signed Gilly last week. He should
but
have been already on the team.
the reason why they haven't signed Gilly is because they know that they're probably going to end up doing that, and they don't want him at camp like that. If you sign
But
him before camp,
you could also lose him to another team.
but you can also, give him a handshake deal to where if another team comes along, you beat their offer.
Well, we hope that's the case because it's true. A lot of the guys like him, they don't want to be in camp,
Mm-mm.
but yeah, I hope it is a handshake deal. I think the Michael contract is the same situation, but
Mm-hmm.
you got to close these deals.
Well, they
So,
know deals. Well, you speaking Jerry's language now because deadlines make deals.
and we're not there yet. We still in May. I think when we
Michael
talk,
said that he told Jerry to talk to his agent, and he haven't heard from him since. And I think that Jerry is doing this, so the
yeah.
ball is in Jerry and them courts. So now, guys, we understand that the ball is in Jerry's courts. That's all of that we need to know. And what that means is that it's not going to get done until the very last day.
Well, man, they need to. They're trying to change the culture. They need to
Mhm.
change that culture too, to where they doing these contracts and just messing around.
If you can imagine, y'all. Now, the Cowboys are for the last, I say, 10 years, we have been decent on paper. We have always had a great roster on paper, right? We've had great rosters. I mean, we probably right now we probably got one of the best rosters we've
I've never
had.
watched him settle before. He looks like a player.
Intriguing, right? So
He is.
we've had a good roster for the last 10 years, and this roster that we got right now is probably the best roster that we've had over the last 10 years. I say the next best one was Dak Nim rookie year, and then you had the one with Dez and DeMarco Murray now. But
Mhm.
this is a good roster. Now imagine how good our roster would be, and imagine how good our team would be if the Cowboys in the front office could do contracts right.
Yeah, if they got Michael signed, they signed Stephon Gilmore.
Imagine if
They
they
were
would have
able
did
to
right
pull
by
off.
Tony Pollard. If they would have did right by Tony Pollard, last year looks totally different.
Now, somebody mentioned the other night. We keep talking about June 1st. June 1st is really next week or
Yeah.
this week. It's really this week. So it's gonna be, I think, a week that we probably going to come on and do some extra content because it's probably going to be cuts all around the league. So what is June 1st? What is the actual date?
Today is the 26th, so it's probably going to be in a couple, probably Friday, I would say. But yeah, you're
Yeah.
right though. June 1st cuts. I mean, I'm thinking that that's where that's the reason that you haven't seen a Gilly sign or a DJ Reader sign. So June 1st is next Saturday. So that's the reason why you haven't seen a Gilly sign or a DJ Reader signing, because they're gonna wait until June 1st to see what these other teams do, see who gets cut first. You're gonna have some players that's
June
gonna
1st is Sunday.
yeah, Sunday, next
So
Sunday. So you're gonna
yeah,
see who doesn't make the team, and you might have a situation where you can get somebody a little better than Gilly. You know what I'm saying? You might have a situation where you can get somebody, you might be able to get somebody like DJ Reader that don't make the team. Like the Cowboys got all these edge rushers. We don't need all these edge rushers. You know what I'm saying? So what if somebody want to come in and take a look at Sam Williams? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So, you
Or
know,
or Tolbert.
yeah, what if somebody want to look at Tolbert? So, you know what I'm saying? What if somebody want to look at one of our safeties? We got like 5 of them. So,
Yeah. So
so
yeah, this gonna be. I think it's gonna be an interesting week. So we'll see. Probably start seeing some people start getting cut by like Thursday or Friday, and that's when it's gonna be kind of on and popping. But
it has major June 1 has major implications on the salary cap. It's opposed to June 1. That's a deadline for a lot of cuts. You save a lot of money by cutting someone after that day.
hmm
So
so you gonna go ahead and wrap?
yeah, shout out to everybody that's watching and shout out to everybody that's always supporting Lou, JVB boy, Hoodie. We appreciate y'all for coming
Make sure
out.
you like the content.
Yeah, make sure you share it too. Um, and shout out to all the veterans on Memorial Day. We appreciate y'all service. We know we wouldn't be here comfortable the way we are without y'all. And so, yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It's going to be an interesting week in Cowboys Nation because we got a lot of people that's probably finna get cut. And either way it goes, it's going to be interesting because if people don't get cut, then you're going to have the remaining free agents that you're going to have to scoop up because the other teams are going to be, on it. So we got,
Yeah. And then the June 1st cuts. I mean, how long are we talking about? I mean, is that gonna be something that people will just be getting cut from here to training camp? Is that kind of how it works, or is it? I know it doesn't all happen in one week.
nah, yeah, that's how it is. But generally speaking, you want to, well, the first wave of people, generally speaking, you have to wait until June 1st to make it official in order for you
Mhm.
to get the salary cap savings. So you're gonna have the people that are like waiting to be cut and waiting to be released, and then after that, it's gonna slow down, and then you're gonna see people that they're gonna say, okay, we got too many training camp bodies. You know what I'm saying? So then that's gonna continue to go and go and go and go and go. But you're gonna have a first wave, and then you're gonna have like a second wave, and it's gonna kind of trickle off until then. So
So we're
that's
gonna
what
see
it's
if
about.
Donovan Wilson gets cut. That's gonna be one to watch.
Yeah, pay attention to the Cowboys over the cap and Spot Track because it's gonna be some Cowboys that's gonna get released.
Yeah. All right, we can go ahead and wrap.
All right, so y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Again, we appreciate y'all, and y'all have a good Monday, and y'all make sure y'all be safe tonight if y'all doing anything, and then we'll see everybody probably Wednesday. We'll come on and speak our piece and see what's going on, and we appreciate y'all. So like, comment.